Hey guys, Dr. White here from the Ultimate Science Course. I'm recording this post in support of parents that are finding themselves taking on the role of teacher as they're trying to help their students move through their course material for distance learning. And I have a little secret for you. To be a science teacher, it's really not that hard. It's all about phenomenon, okay? Now, the definition of a phenomenon is something that happens or occurs. And it can literally be anything that you see that's happening in the physical universe. So whether it's something that is getting dropped, a YouTube video of a rocket taking off, it could even be a table full of data, looking at a table or a graph. These are all examples of phenomena, and this is how science teachers, we always try to start our lessons, we try to incorporate into our units. And so if, as a parent, you can help your student recognize what the phenomenon is, and then you can go through some steps that I'm going to tell you about here in a second that can actually help you analyze that phenomenon in an educational way. Now, the first thing that you need to do is write down your observations, right? The difference between science and messing around is writing stuff down. So you need to have your students go ahead and write their observations down. The second thing you need to do is you need to have them write down their questions, right? Everything that we observe, we can ask questions about, we wonder about. If we're thinking about something, as an example, if we're thinking about the motion of an object, if we're dropping something, right? Some natural questions that come up might be, oh, if I change the object, will it move in the same way? If I drop the object from a higher height, will it move in the same way? Will it take the same amount of time to fall to the floor? We all have these questions that creep in, and students, children are so much better at adults than actually coming up with interesting questions. I think if you give your child the space to question, you're going to be pleasantly surprised and have some good discussions. Another thing that you should do is try to pick out variables, right? So what are some things that can be measured, and how are you going to measure those variables, right? Usually when we talk about measuring something, we need to put a number to something. So whatever you have, if you're looking at motion, if you have some sort of a ruler or a meter stick or measuring tape, that'll all help you with doing physics experiments. A timer, right? Timing is super important, and it's a good way to measure something physical. It's the exercise that you should go through with your students is thinking about ways that you can measure phenomena. Now, the ultimate thing that you want your student to do when they're looking at a phenomenon is try to figure out how they can change or modify the phenomenon in some way. If they can figure that out and they can figure out something to measure, then they've actually just produced a scientific question that will generate an experiment or some sort of investigation. Now, I have created a learning resource that has all of this stuff summed up in prompts for your student to fill out for any phenomenon that they choose. So I'm going to put the link in the comments below. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I love to hear from you. And good luck with helping your students go along their science learning at home.